Hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with V-Rising. In this survival action RPG, you will awaken as a weakened vampire after centuries of slumber. You will hunt for blood in nearby settlements to regain your strength, while hiding from the scorching sun and aggressive garlic loaves. You will also have to rebuild your castle from ruins, and convert humans into your loyal servants in a quest to raise your vampire empire. People on Steam are saying that the combat here is largely dependent on skill and not on RNG, which is undoubtedly one of the best features of this game. Also, the core part of V-Rising is made very well, so if you have a friend, you have my all recommendations to play this game together. And I literally mean together, not against each other, because the PvP part of the game is pretty boring, well, for now. Kotama and Academy Citadel. And now let me present to you a game that's sitting on a shelf with more than 90% positive review score and is also sponsoring this video. This is a fluid 2.5D hack-and-slash Metroidvania set inside a mysterious academy full of secrets, hidden corridors and things that probably should have stayed hidden. Here you will explore a huge interconnected world, unlock new abilities and gradually gain access to areas that were impossible to reach before. You know how these games work. You see an interesting thing that won't budge, but you kinda feel that it will later, and you get all excited to know what will happen then. Combat is fast and fluid, with multiple weapons and plenty of enemies standing between you and whatever important objective you were trying to accomplish 5 minutes ago before getting distracted by exploration. And the exploration part is huge, you know, like your appetite for great video games. Here you will experience a big interconnected world, unlock new abilities and find clever ways back to areas you couldn't reach before. Classic Metroidvania stuff done well. And it just hit its first historical low with a 20% discount during the Steam summer sale. It's also the most polished version yet, with new character skins and combat voiceovers. Perfect timing if you've been waiting for a good Metroidvania. You will find the link to the game in the description and in the first pinned comment below. Keeper. Here you will play as a lighthouse. Yes, a lighthouse. One day you woke up, grew legs and decided to go on an adventure accompanied by a bird. You will explore a strange post-human world, solve puzzles and use your powerful beam of light to interact with the environment. Here you won't find any combat, no endless inventory management and no NPCs asking you to collect 8 asses of dire wolf for 50 copper coins. It is just you, your bird friend and a world that gets progressively weirder the further you go. The game tells its story without words, and somehow manages to be more understandable than some modern games with 400 pages of dialogue. Also, the visuals are really beautiful. Not as beautiful as your mother-in-law, but hey, nobody's perfect, right? Basically, if you like games where you travel through a strange world, this one is definitely worth your attention. And if you always dreamed of becoming a lighthouse, well, today's your lucky day. Cronos The New Dawn. This is a third-person survival horror game, where you play as an agent sent to the ruins of a post-apocalyptic future. Your job is to search for specific people in the past and extract them before they die horribly during a mysterious catastrophe. The world itself is a strange mix of brutalist architecture, decaying technology and horrifying creatures known as orphans. And trust me, these are not the kind of orphans Disney movies prepare you for. These things are aggressive, grotesque and ready to put you into their meaty potato salad. Meaty because of you, you know. Combat focuses on managing limited resources and surviving encounters rather than feeling like an unstoppable action hero. That will raise your anxiety levels, so make sure you're lacking the feeling. Basically, if you enjoy games like Dead Space, you may like this one as well. Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. This is a real-time strategy game that follows the war between humanity and Legion's synthetic intelligent machine network. And Legion is another AI that emerged after Skynet was erased from existence. You know, the franchise needed an enemy, and to be honest, new enemy is always better than...
Somehow Palpatine returned.
So in the campaign you will take the role of a commander in the Founders, a force made up of the remnants of the US military. You will guide your army in an attempt to mess a little with the Legion's plan to exterminate the last remnants of humanity. So in this near future, both in game timeline and in our real world probably as well, you will have to show that evil ChatGPT who the real boss is. And in skirmish and multiplayer modes you can choose one of 3 very diverse factions: Founders, Movement and Legion itself. You will often use the battlefield to your advantage. Physics-based building demolition lets you generate a realistic set of tactical consequences, especially in urban areas. Your resources here are limited, so every obstacle can serve to your advantage. People who play the game are agreeing that this is a very focused RTS, with challenging tactical mechanics and great storyline. The downside is that Terminator Dark Fate Defiance punishes you for mistakes a bit too harshly, and it is quite buggy. But developers are constantly, at least when I wrote the short review, updating the game and fixing various stuff, so it will only get better. Planes of Pain. In this post-apocalyptic survival game, the sun is your deadliest enemy. Here you'll fight extreme heat, thirst, toxic air and various enemies in a vast wasteland. You will build bases and settlements, trade with NPCs, craft gear and awesome anti-gravity hover vehicles, and use them to move faster across the desert of death. You can play the game alone and survive solo. The game supports full single-player experience, or you can dive into adventure with your friends and die in this forsaken wasteland together. And in the wasteland you are no one, just like in real life. I'm kidding, of course. Now subscribe for more offensive jokes. So here you have no past, no protection, only thing you actually have is your pathetic will to live. Survive however you can. There are no easy choices. Everything you do will hurt you in some way, but in general you will trade, build and explore. You know, you will have fun. The game is constantly updated, so new materials and various bug fixes are a common thing. SpellForce 3 Fallen God. Well, most strategy and RPG fans know SpellForce games, but it seems that this one is somehow forgotten, and it is a beautiful game. It is an absolutely standalone title. You don't need to play or even know anything about SpellForce at all to enjoy it. The stories are absolutely separated, just like you and your ex right now. I would say that Fallen God is a hybrid between Warcraft 3 and party-based real-time RPGs. You will be traveling around extremely huge maps with your heroes, and from time to time you will have to build a base and attack unsuspecting enemies, pillage their puny villages and eat their children. Well, maybe not the latter, but who knows, some of your heroes look pretty ravenous, to be honest. Eastshade. Nothing shady about this game, in fact it's hard to find some darker corner here. You are a traveling painter exploring the island and capturing the world on your canvas. Talk to the inhabitants to learn about their lives, make friends and help those in need. Visit cities, scale summits, unearth mysteries and discover forgotten places. This is a peaceful open-world exploration adventure where you will compose paintings anywhere in the world. You will offer them to locals to unlock secrets and gain items. Also you will have to acquire crafting materials and schematics to surmount obstacles and solve quests. People on Steam are saying that this is one of the most beautiful games they have ever played, and most only wish that it was like at least 5 times longer. Midnight Fight Express. This is a brutal beat-em-up game where you play as a former member of the criminal underworld, lured back into the thug life. Your mission is against impossible odds. You will have to fight your way across the city before sunrise and prevent a citywide criminal takeover. You will engage in a brutal brawling ballet, using every environmental tool and street fighting techniques at your disposal. Tangle with waves of foes with the agility of an action movie master. Punch, dodge, counter and finish off enemies in fluid and visceral combat. Custom difficulty modes will allow you to play on lowest, known as pussy difficulty, and still die all the time. But don't blame the game, blame your genes or something. People are saying that this is a great game if you like hurting people, and I agree that very positive review score is here for a reason. Generation Zero. It may not be the best game on this list. It holds only a mostly positive review score on Steam, but the setting and the atmosphere of the game is really worthy of your attention. Honestly, the game was really hyped upon a release, and when people didn't get a masterpiece, bad reviews started to flow. That is a story of many games, and Generation Zero definitely doesn't deserve that, because it may not be a masterpiece, but it's not a bad game as well. Here you will explore alternative Sweden in 1989. One day Swedes woke up early in the morning Gaming and saw that their beloved Sverige is overrun by evil robots. Where did they came from, who made them, nobody knows. Probably evil Norwegians who were envious of Swedish reindeer herds. Everyone knows that casual Swedish deer produces 7 times the amount of milk than Norwegian deer does. Even the males. That is the fact, trust me, every Swede in the comments can confirm that. Anyway, the price is really wallet friendly, and most people who left a review on Steam have from 10 to a few hundred hours of playtime on record. Rising Front. Around 90% positive reviews on Steam is not something you should ever ignore. It is still in the early access phase, but runs flawlessly and floods players with joy and fun. So this is a very original World War I shooter that will plunge you into the heart of trench warfare. You will experience a seamless fusion of FPS, RTS and combat simulation. It's all the genres in one, and surprisingly that works. Somehow. The massive battlefields are populated with hundreds if not thousands of units, and only you can make a difference on what shape these battles will finally take. The downside is rare updates and a bit weak AI, but in general this is a great sandbox, and people on Steam are saying that it is very fun to recreate famous battles or make your own crazy encounters, although not as crazy as your ex, not even close. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Here you will fight enemies of mankind as Lieutenant Titus and slay hundreds or even thousands of evil Tyranids. And they look something like Zerg from StarCraft, you know, insectoid monsters of some sort. And yeah, Tyranids for the first time were mentioned in 1987, a long time before StarCraft, so similarities are the other way around. Anyway, here you are a Space Marine, a warrior of unimaginable power. Yeah, it is so satisfying to hack and slash, dice and slice. It is very hard to stop playing. You know, here the game lets you actually feel the might of your character. If in Dark Souls you had Space Marine instead of Dark Souls protagonist, even your grandma could beat it. Well, you could be the hardest boss of any Dark Souls game, to be honest. That's how strong and cool your hero in Space Marine is. Well, you will still die occasionally, but that won't ruin the mood. You know what can ruin the mood here? Locked cosmetics that you can't unlock just by playing casually. Anyway, a very positive review score is here for a reason. So let's kill some Zerg for the Emperor. I mean Tyranids, I swear. TitanFall 2 Ultimate Edition. If you don't know what TitanFall is, you may think that this is only a multiplayer battle royale of some sort, but it is not. The game actually features a very nice, although really short single-player campaign packed with action and inventive twists. Here you play as militia rifleman stranded behind enemy lines who encounters a veteran Titan. You must work together to uphold a mission you were never meant to carry out. And of course, in TitanFall 2 there is a multiplayer portion of the game with fast-paced, first-person action with Titans and deadly pilot abilities. This version of the game includes all the deluxe and jump starter content, which includes new Titans, warpaint, weapons, tokens and even more, and this price is more than great. Diablo 4. I played the single-player campaign of Diablo 4 and I liked it. The game has really nice graphics, cool monsters and some incredibly creepy dungeons. Also, it's worth to play this game for the cinematics alone. They are done in this incredibly detailed Blizzard style and never disappointed me in any of their games, this one included. So here you can choose one of 5 classes and build your hero with skills, abilities and cosmetics, creating a champion that is uniquely your own. You can also buy additional cosmetics with real money if you are rich, but don't do that, don't encourage this behavior. Anyway, the coolest thing is, of course, your skills and the myriad of ways to kill your adversaries. The special effects are really awesome and I like the battles very much. One thing that I didn't like was level scaling. When you level up, so do your enemies. When you grow stronger, your enemies grow stronger as well. And that, in my opinion, defies the whole idea of leveling up. What is the point if I am level 8 or if I am level 48 if I kill demons at the same pace in the same place? Yeah, your spells are more shiny and explode with more fire, but it's not rewarding, because you never feel powerful. That's why after I finished the campaign, I just never played it anymore. For example, I have around 2000 hours in Diablo 2, and around 500 in the third, and I have around 30 in Diablo 4. That is a huge difference. But still, I played it and I had fun. So if you liked Diablo 2 or a third one, there is a chance that you will be disappointed in this level scaling change very much. Anyway, the game is fun to play with friends. I never did that, but I know a couple who plays it together all the time when their kids are finally asleep. I guess it's a good safeguard to not make more of them. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. In this open-world strategy RPG sandbox, you will create and develop a character that matches your playstyle. Explore, raid and conquer your way across a vast medieval world where no two playthroughs are the same. You will raise armies, engage in politics, trade, craft weapons, recruit companions, and manage your clan. You will command and fight alongside your troops in first or third person, participate in huge real-time battles using skill-based combat system. You can also test your might against players from all over the world in multiplayer PvP, including ranked matchmaking and casual game modes, or host your own server. The only downside, according to Steam players, is that the game is very addictive. Just like potato salad, if you start playing, there is no way you can simply quit doing that. And yeah, I personally know a dude who played 60 hours of it in just one day. True story, bro. I would never lie to you. Cuphead. This is a classic run-and-gun action game heavily focused on boss battles. Inspired by cartoons of the 1930s, the visuals and audio are created with the same techniques of the era. For example, traditional hand-drawn cell animation, watercolor backgrounds, and original jazz recordings. You play as Cuphead as you traverse strange worlds, acquire new weapons, learn powerful super moves, and discover hidden secrets while you try to pay your debt back to the devil. Game is painfully difficult, and if you have no patience, it's not for you. Avoid at all costs, or buy and try to prove yourself that you can do it. You probably can't, but you never know until you try. Game's art and atmosphere is absolutely 10 cold beers out of 10, and as I've mentioned, difficulty as well. Hogwarts Legacy. I had a lot of fun playing this game, although I bought it with the idea of playing it a bit, making a review to my channel and forgetting about it. Well, turns have tabled while I played it. It was so much fun to explore the land and meet various characters, I refused to convert it into a job. So I just played the game for my own pleasure and completely skipped it on my channel. All in all, Hogwarts Legacy was one of the few games that actually survived the hype train and never crashed anywhere. The game has above 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and I would give the game 10 cold beers out of 10 without much thinking. The world is very detailed, quests are handcrafted and fun, magic truly feels like magic, and the world is really open. Although the map is shaped like a bow, very narrow and long. But that's maybe a thing of a lore. I don't know, I have never read the books, only seen the movies. Only thing that actually spoiled the game a bit was how soon I got the ability to fly. That absolutely crashed the exploration on foot part. Flying in Hogwarts is awesome, but I would have given this ability way later in the game. The variety of enemies also could be wider, but hey, it's a great game, you have all my recommendations. Warstride Challenges. Here will blast hordes of demons at lightning speed in bloody gunfights across a series of increasingly intense trials. Slow time to pull off impossible headshots, bunny hop to pick up speed, slide around corners and shred foes with destructive shockwaves of your awesomeness. Or you know, die and retry to pull off the perfect run, then prove your worth on the global leaderboard to let the world know you are the greatest demon slayer. Or to be fair, probably never see your name on any of these lists. But anyway, this is the time of the era where we give awards for trying, not for actually winning. So go there and show the demons your impeccable skills of dying. Yeah. Far Cry New Dawn. Far Cry games have always been colorful, but this is an absolutely next level of an airy-fairy unicorn carnage. They call it vibrant, I call it eye-melting. Despite that, Far Cry New Dawn is a decent game. Here you will dive into a post-apocalyptic Montana, 17 years after a global nuclear catastrophe. You will join fellow survivors and lead the fight against the dangerous new mob and their ruthless leaders, as they seek to take over the last remaining resources. And you are not in a mood to give your potato salad to anyone. You are more fond of bloodshed and carnage, and this is what you will do here. If you have a friend or loving mother-in-law, you can play this game together in co-op mode as well. People on Steam are bashing New Dawn for being just a shadow of Far Cry 5, and I agree, it should have been a DLC. But when it's on sale, why not? It costs as DLC as well, except you don't need the base game to play it. The Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria. So this is a Lord of the Rings game that focuses on dwarves and their shenanigans. Here you will embark on an adventure to reclaim your legendary home of Moria, beneath the Misty Mountains. You can go alone or join forces with other players to survive, craft, build and explore the legendary mines teeming with danger. Here you will mine ore to craft gear and resources. But beware, mining makes noise, and noise created in the quiet deep threatens to awaken the dangers below. Remember when Pippin touched a skeleton skeleton, and that was kinda enough to awaken Balrog for the second time. Yeah, you want to avoid that. You know, monsters are just trying to sleep, and you are that noisy neighbor everyone hates. Yeah, you are not the good guy. So this open world base building survival crafting game has very positive reviews, and you can play it together with your mother-in-law to strengthen your bond. Trepang 2. He will take on the shoes of an escaped soldier who has no memories of his past life but is infused with supernatural abilities. All you want is revenge for something, you know, and you'll stop at nothing. You will deliver devastating punches, sneak around in the shadows, wield powerful weapons, and give the bad guys a taste of their own medicine. Or a taste of pineapple in the potato salad, which is way worse and should be banned by Convention of Geneva or something. So anyway, as you can already tell, the game has strong horror vibes and has visuals and atmosphere similar to legendary Fear games. Here you'll find 6 difficulty levels, so even if it looks hard to crack, on easy it is quite easy. Game has above 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and you can play the free demo version as well. No Man's Sky. This is an alive project. Updates are constant, the game is getting better and better every year. And by saying constant updates, I'm not kidding. I have noticed that they update the game every month, or even more often. Here every star is the light of an actual distant sun, each orbited by planets filled with life, and you can go to any of them. The game is actually enormous. Of course, that size is only available because of procedural generation. So the real question is your mama procedurally generated?
Oh, come on, how dare you?
I'm sorry, no I'm not. So here you fly from deep space to planetary surfaces without loading screens. In this infinite universe you will discover places and creatures that no other players have seen before, and perhaps never will again. So it is tailored for those who want to go where no human boldly went before, or for those who want to find the best place in the galaxy, which is called ColdBeer, everyone knows that. Also keep in mind that every other player lives in the same galaxy and you can choose to share your discoveries with them on a map. That is cool.
Ultrakill.
Now we are getting serious. This game is always among the top 20 best rated games on the whole Steam, and that is among tens of thousands of games. It's ridiculous how good this game is.
Ultrakill
Is a fast-paced, ultra-violent, old-school first-person shooter. It fuses together classic shooters like Quake and modern shooters like Doom Eternal with character action games like Devil May Cry. Here mankind has gone extinct and the only beings left on Earth are machines fueled by blood. And now that blood is starting to run out on the surface and machines are racing to the depths of hell to search for more. Total nonsense, but I like it. People on Steam describe this game quite politely. They say this is a Doom Eternal if it was on crack and also on heroin. And I would add that playing
Ultrakill
it's like eating potato salad, except if you dry it out and snort it. You can try the demo version on Steam if you have any doubts. Outer Wilds. This is one of the best indie games you can find in general. It was named Game of the Year by Giant Bomb, Polygon, Eurogamer and The Guardian, so that alone should grab your attention. If it grabs something else, call the police. Or grab back, I don't judge. Here you are, the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. You will have to gather wisdom for the glory of your nation, because you are the one responsible for exploring outer space. When I played the game, I flew directly towards the sun and died, so believe you me, controlling this spaceship is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Well, I'm probably exaggerating a bit, but it is as difficult as it is fun as well. The spaceship is very responsive, so during your adventures you will have to find out what lurks in the heart of the ominous Dark Bramble, who built the alien city on the moon. Well, obviously aliens, but you know what I mean. Can the endless time loop be stopped, and why is potato salad so delicious? Answers await you in the most dangerous reaches of space. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, so you can't be wrong with this one. Observation. This is a sci-fi thriller where you will have to uncover what happened to the crew of the space station through the lens of artificial intelligence. You will assume the role of AI by operating the station's control systems, cameras and tools. The game is blending narrative adventure, puzzles, exploration and cosmic existential horror. You will uncover the true nature of yourself, your crew and the mysterious, always present hexagon on Saturn. The story, horror atmosphere and music is great, but the game can be a buggy mess if your gaming setup is slightly out of the ordinary. Also, people on Steam are recommending playing it with a gamepad. But in general, it seems that Observation is a great deal for the fans of 2001: A Space Odyssey and Solaris movies. I will say probably blasphemy that I liked Solaris with George Clooney way more than that Soviet film with Donatas Banionis as the main protagonist. Way more. Grim Dawn. Among all the games similar to Diablo, there is no doubt that Grim Dawn is one of the best examples ever made in this field. More than 90% of positive reviews can confirm that with ease. Here you'll be able to enjoy the dual class system. Combine any of 6 distinct classes with over 25 skills and modifiers per class, meaning that your hero will definitely be some kind of unique abomination nobody else has. Although I can say from my own experience, if you are playing for the first time, don't do that. Swallow your dignity and just watch some tutorial of the most powerful build possible, because otherwise you may end like me. You will nurture a warrior who does cool magic, but later in the game is completely useless, and that drop of quality is huge, from a Gandalf to a Las Vegas magician.
I will tell Pen Gillette about this blasphemy. He will make you disappear.
Oh, no, please don't.
It's too late for that.
Cast and chill. Here you will travel to cozy little locations, throw your fishing rod into lakes, rivers and seas, catch various fish and slowly upgrade your equipment. That's basically it. The whole game has this super chill pixel art style and relaxing atmosphere where you can peacefully waste hours of your life hunting for rare aquatic animals and improving yourself as a human being, because this game is many times healthier than social media you're addicted to anyway. Here you will find different biomes, weather conditions and plenty of fish species to discover. So if you are the type of a person who enjoyed fishing in other games more than actual main story, this game was made specifically for you. This is a perfect title when your brain is tired, your soul is damaged, your virginity is on the peak and you just want to vibe near water while tiny digital creatures unknowingly swim toward their own execution. Cozy.
Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden.
Despite the fact that this is a single-player game, here you will play as a ghost hunter couple who vow to protect the living from the threat of lingering ghosts and specters. In a disastrous last mission, the woman was fatally wounded, becoming one of the spirits. So in the haunted wilds of North America, the couple desperately searches for a way to liberate her from the curse. Basically, the game copies the main aspect of The Witcher. You hunt monsters as your main profession, although the gameplay is more similar to God of War. So in the process you will immerse yourself in a beautiful story between two fated lovers. As witches, banishers, you will enter the lives of simple communities and solve haunting cases in a mythical, lore-rich world plagued with supernatural creatures and ancient secrets. Sounds cool, and the general public mainly agrees by giving it above 80% positive review score. Zoria, Age of Shattering. I played the alpha version of Zoria a few years ago and I was really impressed by this indie game. It's not perfect, but I can honestly say that I had tons of fun. So when the full version was released, I played it for my own pleasure again, and the feeling was the same. I was entertained. The game feels like a mix of Third Warcraft's graphics and turn-based RNG heavy playstyle. While only the combat is turn-based, you can explore the world in real time. Also here you will have your base. You can make regular updates to it by unlocking new wings to the buildings, and by doing so you will be rewarded with either resources, quests or items. Also in your outpost you can plan and assign tasks for your companions. For example, send selected party members on a mission in which you won't participate, but will receive what they find along the way. These missions can end badly as well, although the main thing of Zoria is actual combat, and as I've mentioned before, this game is fun. Just keep in mind that it is made by 3 people and not by hundreds, like the third Baldur's Gate, so take my praise with a grain of salt. Dying Light, the Beast. Here you are back as the guy from the first game, who clearly never learned that helping people in a zombie world always ends badly. After 13 years of experiments, he escapes into Castor Woods, a valley full of forests, villages, abandoned tourist spots, and infected, who look way too excited to meet you. So here you will do what Dying Light does best: run, jump, climb, and panic. Parkour is still the soul of the whole thing, except this time the setting is more rural, so sometimes instead of rooftops you will be flying over broken cabins, cliffs and old industrial ruins. And of course, the day is manageable, but when the night falls in, your confidence immediately leaves the chat and suddenly every dark corner starts looking like your worst financial decision, which is every financial decision you make, let's be honest. The coolest thing here is your hero, because thanks to all those lovely human experiments, he can now unleash beast powers and absolutely demolish infected in brutal melee combat. So one minute you are looking like a homeless raccoon, the next you are tearing zombies apart with your bare hands like they insulted your mother. Also, vehicles are back, which is great because sometimes even parkour addicts get tired of all that cardio. Overall, this feels much closer to the first Dying Light's horror vibe. Basically, the game politely asks you one question: do you want anxiety on foot or anxiety in a car? Control Ultimate Edition. A corruptive presence has invaded the Federal Bureau of Control, and only you have the power to stop it. The world around you is now your weapon in an epic fight to annihilate an ominous enemy across the deep and unpredictable environments. Containment has failed, humanity is at stake, so it's time to kick some paranormal ass. SCP vibes are really strong here. To be fair, this game feels like you are in a dream all the time. Well, nightmare to be exact, because everything is changing all the time and not for good. The game is not scary, but it's ominous, that's for sure. People on Steam are saying that the story is very good, the game itself is out of the ordinary and it has some really cool puzzles to solve. So a bit of everything for everyone. Sunset Overdrive. Here the Sunset City is under siege. A contaminated energy drink somehow has transformed most of the population into toxic mutants. For many it's the end of the world, but for you it's a dream come true. Your old boss? Dead? Your boring job? Gone? Yeah, sounds like a wet dream of every office worker, although my advice would be to search for not boring job with a nice boss. I know, it's easier to tame a unicorn than that. Hell, what I'm talking about, it's easier to find a League of Legends match with non-toxic randoms. Anyway, here you will transform the open world around you into your tactical playground by grinding, vaulting and wall running across the city while using devastating, unconventional arsenal. The game presents itself as an open world with no rules. Run along walls, leap off buildings and grind power lines and rails to destroy your foes from every angle. Review score is around 90%, so if you like what you see, you know what to do. Cyberpunk 2077. This is undoubtedly one of the greatest single-player RPG games ever made. It had a rough start, but that is in the past and I can finally skip talking about it. Here you'll dive into an adventure in a sprawling megalopolis of Night City. You will have to take on the role of a cyberpunk mercenary who has to do everything and a bit more to survive. The game has one of the coolest single-player campaigns and is a must-play for every gamer. Although remember that this is an RPG and also a first-person shooter, so the logic does not always work. You know, the same bullet does more damage when you have more experience. That makes no sense, but hey, it's a game. Just like in Fallout or GTA games, you will take on random jobs, build a reputation and unlock various upgrades. The relationships you forge and the choices you make will shape the story and the world around you. The game is massive and it has Keanu Reeves in it, so in general this is a wet dream of anyone who likes single-player RPG games, but it also has some really annoying flaws as well. Despite being set in a GTA-like world, here you cannot fly. I see a lot of comments that say something like,
"Whatever, I don't need to fly."
Yeah, but I do. That is a real downgrade and annoys me very much. Anyway, the campaign is more than awesome, 11 ColdBeers out of 10. NieR Automata. So the game tells the story of 3 androids and their battle to reclaim the machine-driven dystopia overrun by powerful automatons. Here humanity has been driven from Earth by mechanical beings from another world. In a final effort to take back the planet, the human resistance sends a force of android soldiers to destroy the invaders, and you are in control of them. The combat here is beyond fluid. You can change between ranged and melee, perform high-speed battle actions and so on. Also, it has 26 endings. If you are into that stuff, you can replay the game almost indefinitely till you get them all. That's if you are some kind of a masochist. I don't judge. Dune Spice Wars. At the beginning I was really surprised how light this game is. It only requires 4 GB of free space. What is this witchery? And because of that, Dune Spice Wars works incredibly smoothly. Loading times are almost non-existent, and the game itself launches very fast as well, a few seconds and you are in the main menu. I honestly can say that I am not used to this. The game itself looks like a casual 4X title, like Civilization, but it's not. It's a mix of 4X and real-time strategy. You start with your main base and then you have to expand. To do that, you need to explore surrounding areas with your ornithopter and find some resources. I mean areas rich in spice, having which is really nice. It rhymes because spice here is money, and money is nice. That always rhymes. Roses are red, violets are blue, money is nice. See? Anyway, I can recommend the game, I really liked it. And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and don't forget to subscribe. It's good for you. Yeah, let's be friends with benefits. Bye.
Subscribe to